Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Dutch ebook before it's gone.
Must know phrases in Dutch. My name is Stella and I will be teaching you some very useful basic phrases in Dutch today. So let's get started. The first word of the day is hallo. Hello. Hallo. Hello. So as you can see, the standard Dutch greeting is very similar to the English one. Now, if you feel like mixing it up a little bit, you can also say hoi, which is our version of hey, and it's slightly more informal. Now, if you want to be a little less casual, for example, if you arrive at work in the morning, you could say this. Goedemorgen. Good morning. Goedemorgen. Goedemorgen. Now, if you want to be a little less casual, for example, if you arrive at work in the morning, you could say this. Goedemorgen. Goedemorgen. Good morning. You can also say this to anyone else you meet in the morning, for example, in a shop or the person you wake up next to. If it's in the afternoon, you could say this. Goedemiddag. Good afternoon. Goedemiddag. Goedemiddag. This one is much more formal than goedemorgen. In the Netherlands, you can say goedemorgen to anyone, but goedemiddag is really only used when starting a conversation with someone you don't know. For example, at the supermarket or at the beginning of a phone call. Goedenavond. Good evening. Goedenavond. Goedenavond. Good evening. This one is pretty formal. You do best to only use it, for example, when entering a restaurant or something like that. Hoe heet u? What's your name? Hoe heet u? Hoe heet u? What's your name? Bear in mind that the Dutch have a formal u, which is u, and an informal u, which is je. So if you're asking a child or a classmate what his or her name is, you should probably go with hoe heet je? Now, after learning someone's name, you'll likely be asked to say yours, to which you could say, ik ben, I'm, ik ben, enter your name here. So in my case, it would be, ik ben Stella. Ik ben Stella. I'm Stella. It's just your basic introduction. After you've both stated your names, you'll likely shake hands and say something like this. Leuk je te ontmoeten. Nice to meet you. Leuk je te ontmoeten. Leuk je te ontmoeten. Nice to meet you. Now remember the difference between je and u. If you're meeting a new client at work, you may want to say leuk u te ontmoeten, just to class it up a bit. Another useful sentence right after introductions is hoe gaat het? How are you? Hoe gaat het? Hoe gaat het? How are you? It's a nice way to get to know a little bit about the other person, if they feel like sharing. Most of the time, though, they will probably just say that they're fine and leave it at that. And that would sound like this. Het gaat prima, dank je. En met jou? I'm fine, thanks. And you? Het gaat prima, dank je. En met jou? Het gaat prima, dank je. En met jou? I'm fine, thanks. And you? So when people ask you this, it's probably better not to launch into a 15-minute speech about how you are really doing. Keep it short and to the point. Now, here comes one that's rather ambiguous. Alstublieft. Please. Alstublieft. Alstublieft. Please. First of all, when saying this to someone you know well, say alsjeblieft. Je, u, remember? But whichever one you use, it can also mean here you go. So you say it when you're asking someone for something, but also when handing it over. It's pretty confusing, right? Crazy Dutchies. When someone hands you something, or someone has done something nice for you, the polite thing to do is say this. Dank je. Thank you. Dank je. Dank je. Thank you. And again, if you're in a formal situation, say dank u. Next one is what you say after that. Graag gedaan. You're welcome. Graag gedaan. Graag gedaan. Now this is probably a hard one because of the notorious Dutch sound. Just remember, if you pull this off, you'll sound very Dutch indeed. The next two are really short and to the point. Ja. Yes. Ja. Ja. Yes. Nee. No. Nee. Nee. No. Just your basic yes and no. Use them wisely. The next one is easy. You'll all recognize it immediately. Okay. 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 And of course it means okay. It's the same word and you can basically spell it any way you like, so go to town. Excuseer. Excuse me. Excuseer. Excuseer. Excuse me. You can say this if you want to pass by someone and you need them to move, for example. The second way to apologize in Dutch is het spijt me. I'm sorry. Het spijt me. Het spijt me. I'm sorry. You can also say sorry if you've done a small thing wrong, but if you've really made a mess of things, you may want to go all the way and just go with het spijt me. So let's move on to a few short questions. First one is, hoe laat is het? What time is it? Hoe laat is het? Hoe laat is het? What time is it? A literal translation would be, how late is it? But we use this whenever we just want to ask for the time. Waar is het toilet? Where is the restroom? Waar is het toilet? Waar is het toilet? Where is the restroom? So I'm sure you recognize the word toilet in there, but if you want to sound very Dutch, use wc for water closet. So then you would say, waar is de wc? The next one isn't a question, but a request. Wacht even. Wait a moment. Wacht even. Wacht even. Wait a moment. You can use this if someone is talking to you while you're busy, or if you need someone to not move while you grab something from a different aisle, etc. It's a very useful sentence. So if you're in a shop and you want to ask how much something is, you can ask, hoeveel kost dit? How much is this? Hoeveel kost dit? How much is this? Though usually when you're in the Netherlands, there will be clear price tags on everything. The Dutch don't haggle. If you've eaten at a restaurant and you want the check, say, mag ik de rekening alstublieft? Could I get the check, please? Mag ik de rekening alstublieft? Mag ik de rekening alstublieft? Could I get the check, please? Now remember, Dutch people will often split the bill. So if you want to ask for the check, but you don't want to necessarily imply that you'll be the one paying for it, you could say, mogen wij de rekening alstublieft? Which means, could we get the check, please? Here's a word you really need to know, but you probably already do. Help. 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 It just means help. Sometimes life will throw you a bone. Tot later. See you later. If you're taking leave of someone, you can say tot later. Tot later. See you later. You can also just say later. That's been catching on quickly lately. Here's a slightly more formal version of saying goodbye. Tot ziens. Goodbye. Tot ziens. Tot ziens. Goodbye. You're technically saying the same thing you were earlier. It just means that you'll see each other again. But this is the one you would use in a grocery store, whereas you would say tot later or later to a friend. Autumn vocabulary. Let's go. The first word of the day is trui. Sweater. Mijn trui is te klein. Mijn trui is te klein. My sweater is too small. Now this can be a tough word to pronounce because of the O sound and a throaty R. Trui. Trui. Keep practicing. It's a tough one. The next word is regenachtig. Rainy. Het is regenachtig weer. Het is regenachtig weer. The weather is rainy. So these sound quite similar. Regen, rainy. See, you got this. Just remember to practice the regenachtig. It's a really, really tricky one for non-native Dutch speakers. But I'm sure you can get it right. Just practice. Winderig. Windy. Het wordt morgen een winderige dag. Het wordt morgen een winderige dag. Tomorrow is going to be a windy day. Again, very similar sounds, so easy to remember. In Dutch, if you want to make a noun into an adjective, sometimes you can add ich or achtig at the end. So, zon, zonnig, regen, regenachtig. Fris, cool. De wind is erg fris. De wind is erg fris. The wind is very cool, by which we mean cold. Now, the word fris can also mean refreshing, or it can be used as a noun, and in that case it means soda. Next word is herfst, autumn. De herfst is mijn favoriete jaargetijde. De herfst is mijn favoriete jaargetijde. Autumn is my favorite season. Fun fact, herfst is a funny word because it doesn't rhyme with anything, since it has 4 consonants at the end. Okay, next word is koud, cold. Het water van de Noordzee is koud. Het water van de Noordzee is koud. The water of the North Sea is cold. This is definitely true, guys. I mean, the North Sea is wonderful, but the water is murky and very, very cold. So why is it lovely, you ask? Well, because it's Dutch, of course. Duh. Next word. Kastanje. Chestnut. We gaan kastanjes zoeken. We gaan kastanjes zoeken. We'll go chestnut hunting. Fun fact, the word kast in kastanje actually means closet, kind of like the word chest in chestnut. Hey. Another autumn staple, t-shirt met lange mouwen. Long-sleeved shirt. Ik ben op zoek naar een t-shirt met lange mouwen. Ik ben op zoek naar een t-shirt met lange mouwen. I am looking for a long-sleeved t-shirt. Now you don't necessarily need to say T, you can also just say shirt. And remember that the au in mouwen is pronounced kind of like in the word how. Vallende bladeren. Falling leaves. In oktober zie je al vallende bladeren. In oktober zie je al vallende bladeren. You can already see falling leaves in October. Be careful, in Dutch we do not spell the words of months with the capital letter at the beginning. Blad. Leaf. Het blad van een eik. Het blad van een eik. The leaf of an oak. So be mindful of this word. The singular is blad, plural is bladeren. So it's common to use the diminutive form blaadje.
Want to speak real Dutch from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at DutchPod101.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Gabriella. How are your Dutch listening skills? In this video, you'll have a chance to test them out with a quiz. First, you'll see an image and hear a question. Next comes a short dialogue. Listen carefully and see if you can answer correctly. We'll show you the answer at the end. Are you ready?
Een vrouw vraagt een winkelbediende iets in een boekenwinkel. Welk boek wilt de vrouw zien? Ik wil graag een boek van die plank bekijken.
Welk boek wilt u?
Die ene over auto's.
Momentje, alstublieft. Deze,
Ja, die.
alstublieft.
Welk boek wilt de vrouw zien? Een vrouw vraagt een winkelbediende iets in een boekenwinkel. Welk boek wilt de vrouw zien? Ik wil graag een boek van die plank bekijken.
Welk boek wilt u?
Die ene over auto's.
Momentje, alstublieft. Deze,
Ja, die.
alstublieft.
Een man en een vrouw kijken naar een menu in een restaurant. Wat gaat de man bestellen?
Wat ga je bestellen?
Die pizza ziet er lekker uit. Ik denk dat ik die kies.
Ik had gisteren pizza. Dus,
Oké, en hoe denk je over een hamburger?
klinkt goed. Ja, die dan maar.
Wat gaat de man bestellen? Een man en een vrouw kijken naar een menu in een restaurant. Wat gaat de man bestellen?
Wat ga je bestellen?
Die pizza ziet er lekker uit. Ik denk dat ik die kies.
Ik had gisteren pizza. Dus,
Oké, en hoe denk je over een hamburger?
klinkt goed. Ja, die dan maar.
Een man belt naar de praktijk van een dokter. Hoe laat moet hij bij de praktijk van de dokter zijn? Hallo, wat kan ik voor u doen?
Hoe laat sluit u vandaag?
Wij sluiten om 6 uur, maar kom alstublieft om 5:30.
Oké, dank u wel.
Hoe laat moet hij bij de praktijk van de dokter zijn? Een man belt naar de praktijk van een dokter. Hoe laat moet hij bij de praktijk van de dokter zijn? Hallo, wat kan ik voor u doen?
Hoe laat sluit u vandaag?
Wij sluiten om 6 uur, maar kom alstublieft om 5:30.
Oké, dank u wel.
Een jongen leest zijn dagboek. Wat was het eerste wat de jongen vandaag deed?
Het weer was prachtig vandaag. Ik ben vanmiddag wezen zwemmen in het zwembad. En 's avonds ben ik naar de film geweest. Ik heb de hele ochtend gestudeerd. Vandaag viel heus wel mee.
Wat was het eerste wat de jongen vandaag deed? Een jongen leest zijn dagboek. Wat was het eerste wat de jongen vandaag deed?
Het weer was prachtig vandaag. Ik ben vanmiddag wezen zwemmen in het zwembad. En 's avonds ben ik naar de film geweest. Ik heb de hele ochtend gestudeerd. Vandaag viel heus wel mee.
Een vrouw en een man kijken naar een foto. Naar welke foto kijken zij? Dit is toch een foto van een voetbalteam van je zoon? Welke is uw zoon?
Deze,
Oh, hij is de langste.
ja, hij is nog langer dan ik.
Naar welke foto kijken zij? Een vrouw en een man kijken naar een foto. Naar welke foto kijken zij? Dit is toch een foto van een voetbalteam van je zoon? Welke is uw zoon?
Deze,
Oh, hij is de langste.
ja, hij is nog langer dan ik.
Want to finally start speaking in your target language? In this guide, you'll discover the top 7 ways to practice speaking on your own with our lessons. Let's begin. Number 1, shadowing. Shadowing is a proven learning technique where all you do is repeat what you hear in order to practice speaking. So access any audio or video lesson on the site and press the play button to start. Then, as you listen or watch, just repeat the conversations. Or, even easier, read along out loud with the dialogue section. The script is right there in front of you. With our lessons, you can master entire conversations, just like that. Number 2, read out loud. I just mentioned it, but reading out loud is another powerful tactic and deserves its own mention. With every lesson, you get written transcripts and translations. So, as you play the lesson, read the dialogue out loud as you hear it. Why? By reading out loud, you're also practicing your speaking skills. You can do this with the lesson notes, the lesson transcript, or the dialogue tool. With the dialogue tool, you can listen to each line again and again, and repeat out loud until you master them all. Number 3, speed up your reading to speed up your speaking. Being able to speak without thinking is a sign of language mastery. If you're talking to a native and can respond quickly, they'll assume that you're fairly fluent. How can you do this? When you read out loud, try increasing your speed a little bit every time. So, start by reading with the dialogue tool. If you're like most learners, you'll read the first line slowly. That's because you're still getting used to the words, which is okay. Reread it. On your second try, you know most of the words, and you'll read a little faster. Reread it again. On your third try, you'll be even faster, at a native speaker's speed. And being able to read these phrases out loud and fast will help you speak fast. Number 4, record and compare yourself with native speakers. In order to sound like a native speaker, you must imitate native speakers. So here's how. Access the voice recorder, which is in the Dialogue Study tool in every lesson. Click on the microphone icon. Listen to the native speaker's audio, and then record yourself. You can then compare the 2 recordings side by side, and practice and try again and again until you perfect your pronunciation. Number 5, get feedback from our Premium Plus teacher. If you're learning by yourself and don't have access to real teachers, then you can always get feedback from our Premium Plus teachers. With the My Teacher tool, you can record yourself speaking and send the audio file to the teacher. They'll review it and tell you what to improve and how. That's it. Number 6, level up your speaking with Premium Plus assignments. With Premium Plus, you can also get assignments that cover reading, writing, listening, and even speaking from your teacher. These assignments can be tailored to your goals and needs. You get a new one every week, or anytime you're ready for a new one. Number 7, get even more lessons in the lesson library. If you want even more lessons on speaking and conversations, visit our lesson library and under Category, choose Conversation. You'll get all of the pathways and lessons that are focused on speaking. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share it with anyone who's trying to learn a language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. And if you're ready to finally learn language the fast, fun, and easy way, and start speaking from your very first lesson, get our complete learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account right now. Click the link in the description. I'll see you next time. Bye!
I'm sorry.
Het spijt me. Het spijt me.
Don't worry.
Geef niets. Geef niets.
It's okay.
Het is in orde. Het is in orde.
Please?
Alstublieft. Alstublieft.
Please forgive me.
Vergeef het me alstublieft. Vergeef het me alstublieft.
I really appreciate it.
Ik waardeer het ontzettend. Ik waardeer het ontzettend.
Thank you.
Dank je wel. Dank je wel.
You're welcome.
Graag gedaan. Graag gedaan.
Make yourself at home.
Doe alsof je thuis bent. Doe alsof je thuis bent.
Hello.
Hallo. Hallo.
Good morning.
Goedemorgen. Goedemorgen.
Goodbye.
Tot ziens. Tot ziens.
Long time no see.
Tijd niet gezien. Tijd niet gezien.
Good evening.
Goedenavond. Goedenavond.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Het spijt me dat ik u heb laten wachten. Het spijt me dat ik u heb laten wachten.
Wait a moment.
Een ogenblik geduld, alstublieft. Een ogenblik geduld, alstublieft.
Awesome.
Gaaf. Gaaf.
Delicious.
Heerlijk. Heerlijk.
I like it.
Ik vind het leuk. Ik vind het leuk.
I don't like it.
Ik vind het niet leuk. Ik vind het niet leuk.
How are you?
Hoe gaat het? Hoe gaat het?
What time is it?
Hoe laat is het? Hoe laat is het?
Nice to meet you.
Leuk je te ontmoeten. Leuk je te ontmoeten.
Really?
Echt waar? Echt waar?
I don't understand.
Ik begrijp het niet. Ik begrijp het niet.
It's difficult.
Het is moeilijk. Het is moeilijk.
Once again, please.
Nog een keertje alstublieft. Nog een keertje alstublieft.
Slower, please.
Langzamer alstublieft. Langzamer alstublieft.
Good afternoon.
Goedemiddag. Goedemiddag.
Good night.
Goedenacht. Goedenacht.
I'm good.
Ik voel me goed. Ik voel me goed.
How have you been?
Hoe is het met je? Hoe is het met je?
This is for you.
Dit is voor jou. Dit is voor jou.
How old are you?
Hoe oud ben je? Hoe oud ben je?
What is it?
Wat is het? Wat is het?
What's your phone number?
Wat is je telefoonnummer? Wat is je telefoonnummer?
Where are you from?
Waar kom je vandaan? Waar kom je vandaan?
Where do you live?
Waar woon je? Waar woon je?
Help.
Help! Help!
It takes about 30 minutes by train.
Met de trein duurt het ongeveer 30 minuten. Met de trein duurt het ongeveer 30 minuten.
I want a bottle of water.
Ik wil een fles water. Ik wil een fles water.
I live in Los Angeles.
Ik woon in Los Angeles. Ik woon in Los Angeles.
My vacation starts in 2 weeks.
Mijn vakantie begint over 2 weken. Mijn vakantie begint over 2 weken.
I've changed.
Ik ben veranderd. Ik ben veranderd.
I won't do it again.
Ik zal het niet meer doen. Ik zal het niet meer doen.
This weekend I'm going to the movies.
Dit weekend ga ik naar de film. Dit weekend ga ik naar de film.
What are you doing this weekend?
Wat ga je dit weekend doen? Wat ga je dit weekend doen?
I'll have time next week.
Ik heb volgende week tijd. Ik heb volgende week tijd.
I'm busy this week.
Ik ben deze week druk. Ik ben deze week druk.
Ready to start?
Klaar om te beginnen? Klaar om te beginnen?
You're handsome.
Je bent knap. Je bent knap.
Want to speed up your language learning? Take your very first lesson with us. You'll start speaking in minutes and master real conversations. Sign up for your free lifetime account. Just click the link in the description.